What's some of the craziest stuff you've seen being on the road? Well, it's in the ring, a rib.
Well, first of all, I'm not a ribber.
Me neither.
I don't like ribbing.
I didn't rib people either.
Yeah, I never ribbed nobody.
And people didn't really rib me either because they got that.
I ribbed a few of my wives, but that's about all.
Okay, let's switch the subject. Piss on the rib. Let's talk about staying married on the road. What happened?
What happened with staying married on the road?
I haven't been able to do it.
Everything is great until they can't go with you.
Right.
It's like I've had two that just the last two that I made them. You take them to Europe, and Europe is fun.
Yes.
Okay, you take them to Europe, and we ride in the buses and drink the beer and sing, and you know how much fun it was back then, right? I mean, God, good Lord, we couldn't wait to get to Europe. It was more fun than the States, right? We're like gods over there, and but the minute you got to leave them home, then they think you're having the same time, in the States, and you're not, because you're at Raw, you're there at 12. If you're on top, you're out of there at 12. I mean, that's it.
And it's work.
It's work.
You see the glamour on TV, but the work, the grind, the BS.
Rehearse.
Yeah.
I mean, walk through. I mean, it's a long-ass day. You need to have a beer.
Yeah.
The greatest story I ever tell, and I told them at WrestleMania, and I like telling the story.
You got it.
Is I was married to Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
And I took her everywhere, Australia, Japan. She saw it all, right? And travel on the bus with Cena. I mean, we had a ball, right? So she's the only woman that ever got me to call from the hotel room. I don't know why I fell for it. Once again, not thinking straight, right? I've done it. It's happened a few times, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in Indianapolis, and I'm downstairs at the bar with Mike Adamle and Cena, right? It's like midnight, and I said, I'm going to have a few beers with Cena. She said, are you ever going to grow up? I said, I don't know. What do you mean, when am I ever going to grow up? What are you talking about? She said, when are you going to grow up and realize you need to just go to bed at night and not go out? Now, if she was with me, are you kidding? All night long, right? And I said to her, well, I'm sorry. I just, I think I've worked hard today. I deserve a couple beers. She said, well, she said, let me ask you something else. This was the home run. She goes,
okay, I got it.
She goes, what do you have in common with someone 30 years younger than you? Talking about Cena.
Cena.
I said, what did you just say to me?
Oh,
and she said, I said, what do you have in common with someone 30 years younger than you? I said, you know what? I'll let you know tomorrow. Boom, and powered down the cell phone and came home at 4 o'clock in the morning. But when I got home, she'd moved out. Are you kidding me? Playing the game. Like, we move out on me, you know what I did? Yeah. I came home and she'd just moved enough stuff out to try to scare me, right?
Yeah, the scare tactic.
It was Father's Day that I got home, right? I was on the road that week.
Timing.
And I got 2 men in a truck, which wasn't even open on Father's Day. I took everything of hers I had in the house, everything, packed it up and took it over and dumped it in our girlfriend's front yard. I never talked to her again. And then, of course, then 6 months later, she took 40 grand out of the bank account when she left, right? 6 months later, she hadn't got any money.
Yeah.
So she sues me, and I had to give her another 140 grand. It didn't make any sense. I didn't do anything. It was called a no-fault divorce. Does that make sense? No, I mean, nobody cheating on anybody.
Yeah.
Just everybody think that I'm a multi-millionaire.
Hey, when you were growing up as a kid in Minnesota, probably humble beginnings, right?
Yeah, I'm very humble. My mom and dad were very conservative.
Same with me.
Yeah.
And you think as a kid, you know what? Every now and then you hear in a conversation someone says, yeah, well, I talked to my lawyer the other day. And as a kid, you're thinking, why are you talking to a lawyer? Why would you need a lawyer?
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid, middle-class family,
Yeah.
South Texas, I think, man, that's great. I'll never need a lawyer because I
Yeah.
don't understand why you would.
Yeah.
These days, I know you've had your share of lawyers.
Are you
I've had a
kidding me?
gut full of my lawyers.
Are you kidding me?
I'm sick of lawyers.
It cost me $540,000 in attorney fees to get divorced from Beth. $540 grand in 2 years.
Man, I'd have done it for $450.
I know.
What happened? Why does the summits cost you so much?
Because it just dragged on and dragged on and dragged on, and the guy's $1,000 an hour. I had the best. I had the best one in town. God forbid me hire somebody else, right? And I was paying him $17,000 a month. And at that time, which is a story that I'm very proud of, he doesn't like me telling it. Vince lent me $800 grand to get through that time. right?
Yeah.
And of course, the one thing I did, I can say that I attribute a pat on my back. Here's Vince, right? He said, you know, if you want to declare bankruptcy, so you have to pay him back. I paid him back every dime. It took me 3 years.
You're cool telling the story on the air, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but he doesn't like to be acknowledged as the person who did that, but it's the truth. He lent me $800,000, and he called me and said, hey, if you want to declare bankruptcy, not at one time, over the course of a year. And I said, no, I'll never do that. And I didn't. I paid him back every dime.
Hard time.
My whole WrestleMania check was Shawn Michaels. Gone. The biggest check I ever got in my life. I never even saw it in my hand.
It ain't what you make, it's what you save.
Yeah.
The old thing, and all the promoters used to tell the guys when they come into a territory,